I'm Susan Roberti, and welcome to Let's Talk Tail Waggers. Terrific show today, as always, but I have my special ladies with me today. You know, BPTV is all volunteers, and you are more than welcome to come up and try cameras, do a show, or just visit. It's a lovely little corner of the world. And I have to say a very special thank you to my cameraman today. Hi, thank you, Devin. He's been with BPTV since he's been that big, and he's one of my favorite kids. And he left, and he came back, and he's a wonderful young man, and I thank you for coming today. I do, and I love you. I do. Okay, now Lynette's here, and Susie's here.
Hi, Susie.
And we have terrific news. Susie's going to tell us what's going on with Pets for U.S. Vets, which are for, the vets can go to the Washington Area Humane Society, and they can pick a dog or a cat, and they need their
DD 214 form.
And you can get a pet for free. You are more than welcome. It's been working out really, really tremendously. It's a way that the Washington Area Humane Society can say thank you. I can say thank you. Susie can say thank you to the vets for all that you've done for us. So go ahead, girl.
Okay, as you know, and we did 3 dog parties, 2010, 11, and 12, to raise money when we started the Veterans Fund at the Washington Area Humane Society. Well, the American Legion Riders have picked up the slack, and they are doing a Fox and Hound bike run for the Pets for U.S. Vets program on Saturday, September 26th at 2015. And it doesn't have to be a motorcycle. It can be, I'm going to take my Jeep in it, and some people take their pickups, but there'll be a lot of bikers. And the ride starts at the American Legion in Claysville, post 639. Registration is from 9:30 to 10:30, and the kickstart up at 11 o'clock. And I have a little friend here today. And it's $15 per bike or truck or car, $5 per passenger. And all that money goes to the Washington Area Humane Society's Veterans Fund. And our local veterans can adopt at no charge.
That's for the Pets for Vets.
For the Pets for U.S. Vets.
All that money goes for the Pets for U.S. Vets. And I think people are really believing us now, right?
It's been 5 years.
Money, that money, if you send a check to the Washington Area Humane Society and put on the bottom of it, Pets for U.S. Vets, we promise that that's where it goes into the fund, and we're really starting to get so many animals out that the money just goes fast. So if you can, send a few dollars, and you know I very seldom ask you for money, but this is a beautiful, beautiful thing that we are doing, and it's just growing, and
and all of these wonderful animals are finding homes, and like you always say, what's your favorite thing to say?
A broken heart for a broken heart.
And it's
makes
true.
A whole heart.
It's just true, and these animals really need adopted, and our veterans need to be given respect. If you want to do something locally for our veterans who are keeping us safe every day, they're the most important people to us in our country right now, please do something locally. Support the Pets for U.S. Vets program at the Washington Area Humane Society. Now, on September 26th, before we move on, I wanted to mention that that's when the ride is. But if you would like to sponsor me, if you would like to donate money to the fund, just send a check to the American Legion in Claysville. Attention, Tim Hammett, Hammett, and just say that you want to sponsor Susie. He'll know who You'll know who you mean. Just even if you send $10 or $50, any of that it's all going to get these little guys out.
And it's working.
It is working.
Mm-hmm.
It's really working. It took a while, I think, huh? But over
Picked
the
up
years,
speed, definitely.
yeah. But over the years, it's starting now to really pick up. So Susie was the founder, and she invited me into the Pets for U.S. Vets. Let's Talk Tail Waggers. And so it's really been a wonderful partnership, and it's just growing and growing.
It's a great team. It's a great team. We really
Yeah.
believe in this.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. And without a fault, this young lady over here has been taking care of the money, watching over it, knowing every cent, where it goes. And this to me was very, very important. I did not want it to, get mixed in with this or mixed in with that. That is the fund, and Lynette has kept it that way.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, hello, Lynette.
Hi, Susie.
Hi, Lynette.
How are you doing, Lynette? How are you doing down there?
I'm doing great. I really am. It's a lot of fun to be there and to work with the animals and the Humane Society and all the just fun, amazing events we have, and just the way that the community responds and helps support the shelter. It's a lot of big, exciting things happening.
They
there.
don't beat you up.
They don't. Not too bad.
But you see a lot of animals getting adopted.
Absolutely, yeah. We've had some just amazing adoptions just recently. This summer has been really great for adoptions, and we've had empty cages, which is wonderful. I mean, we'd all actually like to be able to work ourselves out of jobs. That would be wonderful because that means all the
God.
animals have homes.
What
But,
is this?
This is Bam Bam. This little guy that's squirmy. He is Bam Bam. He came, actually,
He's
he was
adorable.
born at the shelter with two siblings.
He's a
Wilma.
shelter baby.
He is a shelter baby. He's never been outside the shelter, so this is a very big experience for
This
him
is
today.
his first time out. And how old is he?
He's about 3 months old.
Is he up for adoption?
He absolutely
Oh,
is.
yes.
His sisters are still a little small, but they should be
And
ready.
he hasn't brought his claws out, not even
Oh,
one time.
he's
No.
adorable.
And he's scared, and well, he's
Yes.
curious.
Yeah, he's very curious.
But he's just been as gentle and kind as could be.
You can probably hear him purring on her mic.
Yeah, he purrs.
He
purrs.
really needs a
I
home.
purr. That's what
Yeah.
mine does. And I go, I purr. Yeah.
But yeah,
Just
his
as
mom is
sweet.
still there, and he looks just like his mom.
Oh,
And
so
he
his
looks
mom.
he looks as Mancoon as can be. He's got the pointed ears, and he's got the fuzz on the ears, and he's got that beautiful male
Long
face.
nose, yeah.
You know, he's a very, very pretty
He's
baby.
prancing back over to Lynette. Okay.
You're
little
going to go
guy.
over to your mom.
Aw.
Oh, believe me, if I took home every single one that I
Fell in
fell in love with, they'd probably have
Oh,
to
please.
cite me for hoarding.
Years ago, my husband would say, you want to start charging admission to come in the house. Because
You had
you
so
name
many.
it, I had it, huh? Yeah. So Aunt Susie had it all, huh?
But we had a little bit of a late kitten season this year, so we have a lot of
Would you sneaky?
cats and kittens right now that are just waiting for a lot of kittens. So stop in. We've got some really. I actually had to choose between two. They didn't get along, or I would have brought both of them. He's actually the smallest, so the bigger kitten was actually trying to dominate
I
and beat
know
up on
where
him a
you're
little
going.
bit. But they're really a lot of nice cats.
And
there
he's
right
the
now.
dearest baby.
Oh,
He's
he
just
is
purring
precious.
and not a claw coming out, and just as sweet as can be. So what's going on down at our Washington Area Humane Society?
We've had a really busy summer.
Aw.
We have coming up a wine event, a wine tasting at J&D Cellars. It's a fundraiser for the shelter. October 9th, it's a Friday evening. There at J&D Cellars right there in 84, $30 a ticket. We're selling out pretty quickly.
Wow.
We only probably have about 25 tickets left.
Wow.
And so we're very, very pleased with the response to that. And it should be a lot of fun. We'll have music and wine tasting and chocolate tasting and cheese
Oh,
tasting.
chocolate tasting. Now,
And food from Angelo's
That's-
is actually
oh.
stepping up. They're donating all of the food for
Really?
us.
Oh, Michael
Thank you,
Pasolak. was-
Angelos. Thank
He
you.
just adopted Brutus from us. So
Michael did?
Michael did, and he loves that dog.
Oh, okay. I'll have
We're
to get
very
with Michael and
excited that
meet
he-
Brutus.
He
Yeah.
gives us updates, and we get to hear about Brutus.
Oh, nice.
So he did adopt, but they're doing that, and then actually before that, on the 20th, September 20th, we're having a concert at the Houston American Legion. So that's on the outdoor pavilion area. We have Drew Johnson, Calissa Ewing, and Rough Creek all playing for us.
Oh.
And it's all a benefit for the shelter. So we're really pleased. That starts at 1 p.m. on the 20th, September 20th, Sunday afternoon.
Can I ask you another question? I need a calendar, and I know you have calendars for sale. Do you have any left? I need a
Oh
couple
yes,
of those.
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
those are our lottery calendars, and those.
And how do you get those?
They're at the shelter. They're at our off-sites. They'll be at both of these events. So if you
Those
come
are
by-
great. Every day you have a chance to win, right?
Yes.
And on weekends it's more money and
on Sundays and holidays. You get a little bit more. It is $30 to purchase a calendar, but
That's
your minimum
wonderful.
win is $30. So you
Yeah.
have 365 chances.
oh, I've won 2 years in a row. So yeah,
and
my,
it pays for itself if you do win. And,
Yeah.
my mom and I always get them, so I wanted to make sure you still had
They're
some.
great gifts. We have people come in, and we just had someone the other day come in and said, I buy them every year. She bought 10 of them. She said, now all the nieces and nephews are covered. So
Oh, that is great. And it's your shelter animals on
Yes.
the calendar.
yes. Now all but 2 that are on the calendar have been adopted already.
That's good news.
So 2 cats. So we still have Missy and Sally that are hanging out at the shelter. But yeah, all the cats and dogs, six each, are featured in the calendar. And we had one of our volunteers come out this year and take pictures. We had photo shoots.
Oh, nice.
So we have really some nice.
Were you on the
post pictures.
calendar?
He wasn't even born yet when
He
we
wasn't born for the maybe,
organized the calendar.
and he'll be
photos.
adopted so quickly after the show. I think
He better be. Somebody
look,
better
because
come.
he has little antennae. Look.
Yeah, well, that's a Mancoon. That's a Mancoon, and he has a Mancoon face. And let
He
me
is a
see.
snuggler.
You got, and he's got the Mancoon
M.
M.
Got his
Did
little
you
M.
see the
I
M
did.
on his face?
I have
This
a
is
Maine Coon
beautiful.
myself.
Right here on his, in here.
Yes,
it's an
I
M.
see
That's
that.
a Mancoon M.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a really
they-
nice.
Oh, I just took him right off of
Oh,
you.
you're right.
I just stole
He
him
may not
back.
have any legs left by the time this is over because we'll tear him apart.
There's his little M.
How's the volunteer situation down there?
Great. We always need volunteers. People's situations are different, and it's called volunteering, so they do it on their own free time. So we have, during the summer, had a lot, but we had some teachers that came out and helped us. So obviously now they're back in school.
Yeah,
So we certainly have some space and slots that need to be filled for dog walkers and cat colors. You could do this all day. You could just sit with a kitten all day if you wanted to.
And that really helps to socialize them too. And
Oh, they need to be held.
whoops, because this is his first time out. You said
It is.
today.
And he's looking, and boy, look.
It's
Look,
scary.
He says, I don't want to be scared, but I'm scared because I'm on TV.
Because he's the big brother, so he has to.
Aw.
He has to be
So
in
what's
charge.
the biggest, bestest news that we could ever think
Oh,
would
let me
come?
think. What could, so we're getting a new building. We are fundraising for a new shelter. We just launched the capital campaign last month, and we're looking to raise $5 million for a new building.
If I had drums and trumpets, and, I have been loving the Washington Area Humane Society for almost 19 years, and in my heart of hearts, I just would pray and visualize that someday something good was going to happen, and every show I'd say, remember the Washington Area Humane Society. But in my heart of hearts, I just would say, please make it so that it can become what it should be.
Yeah.
And you guys get no money from the state, from anywhere. You work your little butts off. You do.
It is
to
all
get
community support.
Yeah.
Every dime
Yeah.
is community support,
Yeah.
grants,
Yeah.
programs, Pets for US Vets. While it enables the animals to get adopted to veterans, it's also integral. We can offer that program because we have those funds. All these concerts, all the events, everything. Our 5K in September, all of that comes back to help the animals.
Now, did you get land?
we have land. We have 5 acres that we already own. So we're going to do it at the same location that the new shelter or the old shelter is, but we're going to build it on top of the hill. So if you've ever been out there,
beautiful.
and then we're going to raise the old shelter because it's falling apart.
Yeah. Well, you know, that building has to be well over 100 years old.
Well, it was built in the 50s.
Is it really?
And pieces and parts have been added since then.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of the things we'll be able to keep. There's a area for our new intake dogs that will stay. It's a whole building that is not that old and it's still in really good shape.
And what about, is that the one too for the mummies to have babies? Didn't you build, you built a little building for that.
Yep, that'll stay there. The pavilion, we have a beautiful outdoor facility, a building, pavilion, covered electric, that'll stay. We'll be able to utilize it more because it's going to be closer to the actual shelter. Right now, that's also kind of up on the hill, kind of out of the way. Nobody actually sees it's there, but once we get the new building in, it'll be much more visual and be able to do events there. And we want to open it up for the community to be able to do training sessions for owners, you know, new dog owners.
That'll be great.
We don't even try to do cat training. It just would never work.
No.
But
Cat training.
but education programs, we can have Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts come in and just learn about animals and learn about what the shelter does. And so,
You know what the saying is, dogs were made for people and people were made for cats.
I never heard that one, but that's true. I'd like to bring something up right here. You know, we're talking about all the animals and being born down at the shelter. Could we please just stop the insanity and spay and neuter our pets? We had a T-shirt. I meant to bring it today. Back in, I think it was 2000, down at the Humane Society. And I meant to bring it and I forgot, but it says 2 + 3 is 7. And have you ever seen that T-shirt?
And it goes
on and on and on.
into
I mean,
the thousands.
Well, it says dogs can't add and cats can't subtract, but they can multiply.
yeah.
And so, you know, we've got to just stop this. We have to spay and neuter our pets because just like this little guy, his whole litter was, you know, the pregnant mom was brought in and then the litter's
And
there.
thank heavens he was born in the shelter.
Yes.
You know, but when you see the dear little things behind some building, you know, and then they're feral. And then you never
really
can get near
socialize
them.
or get
So
near
then
them.
you have to get a cage and catch them and have them neutered, and then you take them back and leave them go so they can spend their life. But it's tragic. You know, it really is. And the same goes. Oh God,
Look at
he's
this.
pretty. The same goes for the dogs. Now, how's the pit bull situation been?
We
Slowing down, I
It's
hope.
slowing down, but we have a good number still at the shelter. They, of course, are one of the few that don't get adopted as quickly. But we
so
do have
true.
some of the nicest. I think I remember bringing Gummy Bear here
Yeah.
one time.
Oh,
Yeah.
She did definitely get adopted. It took a
Really?
while, though. It took a while.
But she did get
She
adopted.
went into a home with kids
See?
and a family, and she just, we get reports that she's
She had
doing
a hard
great.
life, too.
She had a really rough life. So
She had a bad life.
but they love her. They had said she's the greatest dog. So
See?
it really,
Aw.
we never look at breeds there. I mean, we
Yeah.
have to just look at them as homeless animals.
I wish everybody in the United States would just say enough is enough with the pit bulls. Just say that, you know, to to your neighbor, to this person, pass it on. Enough is enough with the pit bulls.
Quit breeding.
Yeah, because they're not like they were when they were created. You know, man has developed this outrageously big, strong animal, and we don't need any more. We don't, because most of the shelters are really and truly full.
And the hound dogs. I think
Yeah.
hound dogs are hard
Yeah.
to adopt out too.
Well, our hound dogs and beagles and any kind of hunting dog go very quickly. We
Do
see
they?
a lot of them, but they also go very quickly. We're fortunate that we have a lot of people with land that come by, and
Yeah.
they have the ability and the facilities to handle those kind of.
And
They're
if
not good apartment dogs, so you.
If people do not buy them, people do not take them, the pit bulls, then the breeders will stop. And, you know, there are wonderful breeders, okay? We're not talking about the wonderful breeder. We're talking about the backyard breeder. And because they had 9, 10, 11 babies, and they breed them, and they could care less who they give them to. They just want the money. And they don't deserve that. They really and truly don't deserve it. So if people in the neighborhoods would know who's breeding the pit bulls, just say, enough's enough. And let it go, because there are states that are trying to get you to carry insurance, $1 million worth of insurance.
And of course, that makes it more difficult to adopt them out, because then we have landlords that won't even take them in. So,
and I used to be frightened so terribly, and I groomed for 40 years, and I used to be so frightened of them. And over the years, doing my show, and getting to meet them and stuff, and it's not them. It is not them. And there are mean dogs, and even mixed breeds, there's mean dogs. But it's not them, it's the humans. And the humans have to say, enough. We have to stop it.
Well, and we were going to actually bring a dog in for you today, but it's a rainy day here, and poor guys were a little bit of a mess. But they were a little dirty and muddy and smelly, and I didn't want to subject you to that. So we brought a cute little kitten instead. But we do have a little pity right now that she's as sweet as can be, but she's older and she's a little shy. She came from a situation where she was in one of these fighting rings, and she's definitely looking for a home. She just needs someone to understand her.
Can you just imagine being tied somewhere and having a dog come after you? I mean,
and most of the time, the ones that come from those rings aren't afraid of people. They are dog aggressive by the nature of how they were brought up, but they love people. Once they earn that trust and learn to trust, then they really
and they
are
know
some of the
a
best
wonderful
dogs.
home.
Yeah.
If they find, someone takes them, they do know they have one. You just have to be careful with them around other dogs.
Right.
And that, that's like the greyhounds. You have to be careful. You can't let them off a leash, because if they see a bunny and see you later, goodbye.
They'll just keep running.
It's just what they were trained.
Right.
But
I have an interesting follow-up adoption story.
oh, go ahead.
It's my Harley Grant that I adopted down at the Humane Society in 2001. He was, we thought, bloodhound and coonhound.
Oh, yeah.
This is an interesting story, because I think he has a past behind him that we didn't know about at the time. But he was dumped overnight when I was working down there in a pen, and that day, I was going to take him home, but some nice people came in and adopted him. So 2 weeks later, he came back again, and so we took him home. Jimmy said, no, we got to take him home. So we called him for 14 years now. We've called him a bloodhound coonhound mix, and we just found out last week he is from the American Rare Breed Association. He's an Ogar Polski. An Ogar Polski we adopted at the Washington. I never had heard of one.
I've never heard that.
It's a Polish hound, and he just matches up perfectly. He's a Polish hound, so we think maybe somebody stole him and dropped him off down there or something. But 14 years, we found out now.
Your baby.
Yeah, we have a rare breed from the Washington Area Humane Society.
And I was very, very fortunate. Someone surrendered a purebred Akita.
Wow.
And so we do see these, we have purebred boxers there right now, and they come in from different situations. Every situation is different. If someone was moving, the Akita came from a family that was starting their own family, so they felt that they didn't have the time for her. She's now enjoying time with my other two in my home.
Oh, so, you adopted a boxer?
Oh. The Akita.
The Akita. Oh.
I did. She fit in wonderfully. She's young.
Yeah, they're another dog that are scary looking.
But I was going to say they're a top. They're considered one of the bully breeds. You could never imagine it with her though.
Yeah.
She's just the sweetest can be. But so we get all sorts in the shelter. Everything you can imagine we have at the shelter, and American bulldogs, English bulldogs, just everything.
What are you doing?
Are you staging everybody?
Hey, Aunt Susie scratching my little butt. My
Oh,
tail goes, hello.
She's starting to calm down.
This little guy wants, he definitely needs a home.
He just wants to be loved.
That's
I'm
it.
serious. For real. He
would sit on your lap and just enjoy
oh my
enjoy the afternoon with you.
Yeah. Look at
That's
this.
a sweetheart.
Yeah.
I was trying to get him to play with my bracelet.
He's trying
too
to find
curious.
a way that he can love his way off the table.
Mhm.
And Aunt Susie knows exactly
getting all
what
the
you're
wires
up
and
to.
all the
Oh,
cameras.
yeah, you're trying to sneak. I know, you're a little sneaker.
But we do, when we do the new
Your
building,
turn.
we are going to try to accommodate for more cats as well. So that's one of the biggest things that we have coming in, the biggest need.
Now, when is this
have
going
room.
to get started?
Well, we're hoping, fingers crossed, that we have all the funds ready to break ground by the end of next spring.
So you do have a good bit of the funds?
We do. We're about halfway there with the funds already. We were able to do some. We had a couple of really nice lead gifts, but it's always that last little bit that
Yeah.
that takes the longest.
Well, let's just ask the public then. I know we have a lot of money around. We have some people that are very interested in animals and their welfare, and if they could just donate
Yes.
to the new building,
We're going to have wonderful
wonderful
naming opportunities. So if you have a loved one or even a loved pet that you want to honor or pay tribute to, we have just some great opportunities from big to small. Small to big. You can name the room. You can name the shelter. If you want to give that much, and we
See,
can
that would be
accommodate
great.
for your future in the shelter for quite a long time. This is
Yeah,
going to
and we
build
have
to last.
Pets for U.S. Vets, which will be still coming out of there.
Yep.
And I just am. It's unreal to even dream that we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place.
When you look at what's there now, it's very functional. I mean, it still works very well for the
yeah.
animals.
You guys
It's
keep it so
little.
clean too.
It's very
little.
clean. We've
And then you'll
painted,
be
we've
able
made
to-
improvements,
you'll
but there's
be-
just some structural things that it's
You'll be
starting
able to have people come down and lecture,
Mm-hmm.
and there'll be so many nice things, when you have the room
Yes.
to do that.
It is going to be bigger. I won't have to be in an office trailer behind the shelter anymore. I can actually be
I
parked
find you back there
inside.
though. I have to hike, but I find her.
Yeah, I'm back there. So when it's cold or rainy, we definitely feel the
Guess
elements.
what?
Is it time?
It's time.
That went quick.
Now this little guy,
Oh, he's settled down now, just
he
in
has
time.
to say, "Please
Um,
adopt me."
Like always, you're very, very important to Let's Talk Tail Waggers. All of you. I love you with my heart, and the very dear and sweet things that you say to me when I'm out in the community. I belong to this community all my life, and I've always been very proud to say that I am from Bethel Park. So if you can in your heart, even if you send $1, 50 cents, anything, if you can send it for the a new shelter or for the Pets for U.S. Vets, whatever you choose. But please keep sending towels, sheets, anything that you feel that you can't give to the homeless. Don't throw it away. Pack it up and send it. Because this little guy, when he was born, they needed towels. They need towels for them, the doggies to lay on, to sleep on. So anything that you have would be just so very appreciated. If you have a dog that passes away and you have a big bag of dog food, you could take it down and give it to the Washington Area Humane Society. They're never too proud to take it to anything. So like always, I love you. What can I say? Thanks from all the tail waggers.